Welcome, chess enthusiasts, to an electrifying matchup between Augustin Tikovsky and Rudolf Keller in the historic 1942 Chocen tournament. Let's dive right into the action. White starts off with pawn to d4, staking early claim to the center. Black counters with knight to f6, preparing to put pressure on the center. White advances with pawn to c4, solidifying their control. Black responds with pawn to e6, keeping options open for the bishop. White develops knight to c3, supporting the center and eyeing future squares. Black mirrors the central control with pawn to d5, creating tension. White plays bishop to g5, pinning the knight to the queen. Black simply develops bishop to e7, breaking the pin. White continues with pawn to e3, preparing to develop the dark-squared bishop. Black pushes pawn to c6, reinforcing the center. White brings knight to f3, further fortifying their position. Black plays knight to bd7, adding more defense to the central pawns. White plays pawn to a3, perhaps thinking about expanding on the queenside later. Black decides to resolve the central tension with pawn takes dxc4. White recaptures with bishop takes on c4, maintaining a dynamic duo of bishops. Now black plays knight to d5, challenging the bishop. White opts for knight takes on d5, simplifying the position. Black responds with bishop takes on g5, capturing a piece and keeping the game sharp. White brings knight to c3, developing with a threat to the d5 knight. Black counters with bishop to f6, protecting the knight and aiming at the central squares. White plays knight to e4, attacking the bishop and centralizing the piece. Black castles kingside, ensuring safety and connecting the rooks. White now plays queen to c2, enhancing central control and planning future attacks. Black strikes with pawn to e5, challenging the white knight. White castles, but on the queen side, adding a layer of complexity and aggression to the position. Black plays queen to e7, lining up with the e5 pawn and eyeing potential threats. White pushes pawn to h4, a bold move aiming to launch a kingside assault. Black responds with pawn to g6, creating a pawn chain and preparing for defense. White strikes with pawn to h5, aiming to open lines against the black king. Black captures with pawn takes on d4, gaining a pawn but opening more files. White recaptures with pawn takes on g6, intensifying the attack. Black's bishop moves to e5, possibly setting up a blockade. White captures with knight takes on g5, sacrificing material but opening up the board. Black continues with pawn to d3, creating a passed pawn and threatening more. White captures with queen takes d3, removing the threat and centralizing their queen. Black tries to complicate with knight to e5, attacking the centralized queen. White simply captures with knight takes on e5, maintaining their dynamic play. Black moves bishop to f5, hoping to find some counterplay. White captures with knight takes on g6, opening more paths to the black king. Black places queen to c5, attacking the knight and creating threats. White moves knight to e7+, delivering a timely check and forcing black's hand. Black captures with bishop takes on e7, but the white queen is ready for action. And now white plays queen to c3, a crushing move that spells doom for black. And that's it! Black resigns and white takes a thrilling victory. What an extraordinary performance by Augustin Tikovsky. A fantastic game filled with strategic depth and tactical brilliance. Thank you for joining this chess spectacle.